If you need unlimited domination, clutch time, or anything else online or offline grinding, make sure you hit up RoseNBA on Twitter for quick, safe, and reliable grinding services. Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking the best centers in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM here on a tier list. But before you hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 8,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day, and I really appreciate your support if you haven't already. If you do subscribe, without further ado, let's not waste any time. Let's hop right into it, and let's start off with Ruby Joel Embiid, who I got to say is not a very good card at this point in the year. He might be C tier. Why am I typing Ruby? Am I good into the search bar? Come on, use your brain. But here we go. So Embiid, he's got a Evo obviously to Ruby. I think his better Evo is going to be his athletic Evo versus his playmaking Evo, and his Evo makes him. I mean, he gets a 75 shot, 380 driving dunk, 81 interior, 81 block. Not crazy fast, but I mean he's pretty slow to be completely honest. Badge wise, is not great. Couple bronze shooting badges and things like that. If you go to the playmaking badges, he gets a few more shooting badges and a few more playmaking badges, which is nice. I would say he's a little bit better in that area, but a bit slower. Doesn't really matter, I don't think, which Evo you go with too much with the card. It's just going to change up the way his badges are a little bit. The playmaking one does seem like it gives him more badges, but not quite as good stats, and the athletic is going to give him a few more badges and or a few less badges and slightly more stats. Embiid's release is not great this year. His movement is not all that good. He's very limited on the badge side, statistically mediocre at best. I think he comes in at the D tier. Jalen Duren, I don't know. Does he go C? We'll move Jalen Duren to B. I think we're going to have a lot of inside centers at the B tier. I'm just going to say that right now because there are a lot of inside centers in the game right now, and in all honesty, a lot of them do the same thing. Duren, 73 speed and excel is okay. Can't shoot the ball. Pretty solid interior defender, good athlete, defensive badges and finishing badges, and that's all he has. Very, very similar to a lot of the other cards on this list, to be completely honest. He is very, very limited as a shooter, really not able to shoot the ball at all. Good perimeter, good interior defender, not great on the perimeter, strong, great dunker, and that's about it though. Not a crazy impressive card, not a bad card. I think probably B tier is fair for Jalen Duren. I'm gonna go Paulo in the A tier. I think Paulo is a very, very good card. He's currently my backup center, although for how much longer, I'm not sure. 80 speed and excel, 79 shot 3, 90 driving dunk, 85 standing dunk. Defensive stats are okay all the way around. He plays defense better than the stats would say though. Defensive badges are really, really good. His playmaking badges are okay. And then finishing is where he's at his best as a slasher. His athleticism at the center position is something that can't be overlooked. Can also stretch the floor. He's got a nice jumper that is smooth and fast, which I like, and his SIGs are really good, even though the playmaking badges don't quite match the SIGs and limit his ability to be that true dominant playmaker. But I think Paulo is a really, really good card. Big fan of having a stretch center who's also athletic, and Paulo fits that bill, so he comes in the A tier. Drummond is going to go C tier, another guy who's an inside center. We got a lot of inside centers on the list, like I said. 6'10 with a 7'6 wingspan, not elite height, but really good wingspan. Not crazy fast, can't shoot the ball. Similarly to Duren, going to have exclusively finishing and defense badges. Doesn't have a great shot, can't really move very well. I mean, he's average. He's bang average at best. Like, that's what he's going to do, is be a solid inside. I'm going to go with Anthony Davis. I'm going to throw AD in the B tier. I've seen a lot of people using this AD card and having a lot of success with him. He is not a bad card. He has acceptable speed. 74 speed is pretty good. 65 shot 3 isn't great, but he's got a good release. He can shoot wide open, kind of like a guy like Giannis. Defensive stats are quite good, and the dunking ability is solid. Badge wise is not amazing, but I really like the fact that he can at least somewhat shoot the 3, has decent athleticism, and is a solid all-around defender with pretty okay athleticism. He is a pretty solid card. Release, like I said, is quite good, just like Giannis and some other guys. You can green with that mid 60s, even low 60s 3 this year, and I think AD is really solid and goes in B tier for me personally. Arvydas Sabonis is going to go inside of the S tier. Is going to be our first S tier player of the video. While he is an absolute snail, he is dominant on the inside. Hoff drop stepper, Hoff rise up on a 7-3 player is pretty darn glitchy. He's also got a few good shooting badges, a couple playmaking badges. I wouldn't say they're crucial ones, but that is nice still. And you can add any badge to him as well with him being a token card, which means you can put a limitless range on him. You can put defensive badges like clamps, glove, pick dodger, pogo stick on him as well. Really, really good interior defender, especially with his size. Like I said, he is a snail defensively and offensively. He's just really, really slow laterally and forward, backwards. So he's going to be very, very slow. And I wouldn't say his release is an elite release, although it's not bad. Doesn't really have any sort of movement, but he's so dominant as an interior defender, rebounder, and a masher, in addition to being able to stretch the floor, that I think he's a pretty easy S tier still. I'm also going to move Jalen Duren down to the C tier because he's one of those average to below average interiors. So I don't think he's that great. I think Ben Wallace has a has something at the center position that a lot of the other insides don't have. I know he's only 6'9", but the 83 speed and excel is really, really nice. Another card who can't shoot at all, but he's an elite interior defender with really good perimeter defensive stats as well. Amazing defensive badges, which is very, very nice. Can get quick first step and bailout as well, which helps even more with his speed. And he's a very, very solid interior player as well. So I think Ben Wallace, his speed and his all-around defense is so nice that even being a little bit undersized and unable to shoot, he is B tier because of his straight athleticism. And I think that's really, really valuable. Bill Russell is honestly a borderline A tier. I feel like he's Ben Wallace, but better is how I would describe Bill Russell. For now, I'm going to put him in the A tier. He might wind up being moved down to B tier at some point. Another guy who can't shoot the ball, but has elite speed, elite all-around defense, and elite dunking ability. A little bit taller than Ben Wallace as well, which is nice. Great finishing badges and great defensive badges, just like Ben as well. Can get the quick first step badge. Already has gold bailout, which is nice. Wouldn't recommend wasting any shooting badges on it, but you could put ankle braces, pick dodger on him defensively as well. And he's a really, really good card for that reason because of his athleticism and his defense. I think he is an elite defensive interior center. My favorite, like, smaller interior in the game. Blake goes S tier pretty easily for me. Blake is a guy who can stretch the floor at a high level, plays defense better than people realize, and is a really elite slasher, obviously. 97 vertical, 94 strength. I think those two stats right there really help make up for the mediocre defensive stats. Also, defensive badges aren't bad. Besides clamps and glove, he gets everything else crucial, which is really, really nice. Shooting badges are not incredible, but having a few of those is nice, and 83 shot 3 is really, really good. Can get his quick first step upgraded to gold, and is obviously an exceptional slasher with Hoff Bully, Hoff Limitless Takeoff, Hoff Posterizer, good speed, an exceptional dunker. He is just an amazing, amazing offensive center, and then defensively is honestly more capable than the stats and badges say as well. I think he's a beast. Been starting at my center position for a while, although I will say this guy right here, Chris Bosh, might be the guy to take Blake Griffin's spot as my favorite center in the game. When I did gameplay earlier with Chris Bosh, that gameplay is up on the channel if y'all want to check that out. I was so impressed with this card. 72 speed and excel is solid. Pretty, very, very good interior defender. Not great on the interior, but honestly what this card is he's Pau Gasol, but much better. Can shoot the three-pointer at a high level, has decent athleticism, a pretty decent dunker, and then a very capable defender with solid all-around defensive badges, the ability to get pick dodger and chase down artists, as well as quick first step and bailout. No limitless range, unfortunately, but I can live without that. Fast, which is another good badge to add in my opinion, but he has an elite release. Might be one of the best big man releases in the game, and that really helps set him apart in my opinion from most of the other bigs. I mean, like I said, Pau Gasol is that type of guy. I've talked about it a lot on my channel the first couple weeks of the game. That type of guy who's really a good glue guy at center position, can shoot the three a bit, can guard on the interior a bit, can rebound, has acceptable enough athleticism. Chris Bosh is just that same type of card with a much better release, better stats and badges all around the board. Really, really good card at the center position. Honestly, my favorite center in my team right now. DeAndre Jordan, we're going to put him right there with the other average centers. There's going to be a lot of guys in that B or C tier today. And DeAndre Jordan, 6'11" with 7'6" wingspan. He has pretty solid speed, which is nice. Cannot shoot the ball whatsoever, but he's got great strength, great interior defense, and great dunking. Honestly, he's a little faster, and he's a better interior defender and dunker. Probably better badges as well than the other guys in B tier. I think he's a better inside than them, so I will him, or I should say in C tier. I think he's a better inside than them, so I'm going to move DeAndre up to B tier. One of the better inside centers in my team right now. Demarcus Cousins, I don't like his release. I'll be completely honest. It's very inconsistent. I don't feel like he plays great defense either. Pretty darn slow. Defensive stats are not all that good. His badges are all not all that great. He can shoot the three, but he just doesn't give me the athleticism or the defense that I need to justify putting him high on this list, even with being able to shoot a wide open three. So for me, Demarcus Cousins is not it in my team. Dikembe Metabo is going to go A tier. I think Dikembe might be the best pure inside defender, rebounder, masher in the game. I mean, Arvydas is going to compete with him in terms of the offensive mashing and stuff, but defensively, Dikembe, 56 speed and excel, which is not good, but on a 7'2" player, it's a lot better than what guys like Arvydas and Zadruna Sogauskas have. An exceptional interior defender with ridiculous defensive badges. He is absolutely insane on the defensive end of the court. Unfortunately, offensively, he is going to be limited to mashing, rebounding, and dunking the ball. Would put Hoff Bully, maybe limitless takeoff on him as well. Probably the clamps, glove, and ankle braces as well defensively, or you could maybe go quick for step or bailout instead. But he is so good defensively, I have such a hard time not putting him in the A tier, especially because of his size as well, even though he can't shoot at all. Horace Grant is a very, 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 very easy F tier. This card is not good. Maybe the worst card in this list. Very, very slow. Can't shoot the three. Don't really have much else to say. Not an exceptional defender, not horrible, but he can't shoot at all, and he's incredibly slow, and doesn't have elite size either. He's a very easy D tier for me personally. we're going to put, yeah, you know what? Jermaine O'Neal goes S tier. I think Jermaine O'Neal can do enough on the court that he deserves to be in the S tier on this list. 83 speed and excel is amazing. He can shoot a wide open three. He's a solid all-around defender, a solid dunker, and really good badges with half bully, dream shake, post spin, vice grip, box out beast brick wall, chase down pogo stick, and rebound chaser. Can get quick first step, clamps, interceptor as well, limitless range, even limitless takeoff. So you can add shooting badges to him, playmaking badges to him, make him very, very complete. His release is slow, but it is greetable, especially when you are open. I would compare it a lot to Pau Gasol's release, and the release is the worst part about the card, but everything else he does at a really high level. An elite interior guy offensively with half bully, half post spin, which is super nice, and then defensively he holds his own as well, even at only 6'11". I guess 6'11" isn't short, but he holds his own at a high level with Hall of Fame rebound chaser, half brick wall, half pogo stick, etc., etc. Really, really good card. I think he's pretty easily S tier for me personally. Another beast here inside center this time is going to be Joakim Noah. The reason that Joakim is B tier is because he can knock down a mid-range and has a good jumper. He also isn't horribly slow and is a very, very good all-around defender. So a guy who's, I'd say, in a lot of ways comparable to DeAndre Jordan, not quite as fast as DeAndre, but can shoot the mid-range better, and a little bit more of a perimeter defender, kind of like Ben Wallace as well. Doesn't have the athleticism of Wallace, but again, being able to shoot that mid-range is very valuable, so he comes in the B tier. Kevin Love is going to go C tier as well. Just another guy who, just like Demarcus Cousins, I mean, he's a horrible defender and he's horribly slow. He can knock down threes at a crazy high level. One of the best pick and pop bigs in the game, no doubt about that, but he is so slow and so poor defensively, it almost doesn't matter enough to get him any higher than the C tier. I can't put him higher. I'm going to put Kevin Love in that C tier. Pau Gasol is going to go the top of B. Actually, I'm going to put Pau Gasol at the bottom of A. I really am that high on this Pau Gasol card. He plays so capably on both ends of the court. Is not fast, but is a very good interior defender, can knock down the open three and dunks the ball at a high level. Well-rounded badges, even if they're not great badges overall. I feel like this Pau Gasol outperforms what the card stats and badges say that he does. Release is super smooth and easy to green, even though it is slow as well. I think Pau Gasol is one of the best budget centers in the game right now, and to be honest, I think he deserves that spot in the A tier. Roy Hibbert is going to go in the F tier, our third F tier player of the video, with 26 speed, 25 excel, 25 perimeter, 25 lateral, and no three-point shot. You really shouldn't need to see anything else. I don't care that he's 7'2". He's so slow and so immobile defensively, and also an ability to shoot the three. It just doesn't matter. He's an easy D tier for me. Rudy Gobert, I mean, I dang near would... Am I bugging to put Rudy Gobert in D tier? You know what? I'm doing it. It's my list. I think this Rudy Gobert stinks. A lot of y'all are going to disagree with that. I think he sucks. 48 speed and excel. Can't shoot. Not a great perimeter defender. He's a 7'1" inside without an elite player build and without the ability to do anything else except for interior defend pretty much. Can dunk the ball standing, which is nice, but like, he's not as bad as any of the other guys in D tier. I will say that, but I literally think everybody else in the C tier everybody else in the C tier does something better than Rudy Gobert, I feel like. So he is an exceptional interior defender, so I guess I'll give him C tier, but you know what? It is my list. I'm putting him D tier. If y'all don't like it, that's fine. Leave a comment. Let me know, but I do not like Gobert at all. Tyson Chandler comes in the C tier, another guy who is a dominant inside, very similarly to other insides on this list. He's got acceptable enough speed, can't shoot, is a very good interior defender and a good dunker. I like his speed compared to a guy like Rudy Gobert. I think that gives him a lot of value, and he's got a really good player build as well. Another guy who's not going to be able to shoot the ball, but a great interior finisher and rebounder as well as defender, and he comes in the C tier. And then finally, we got Big Z, Zadruna Sogauskas, who I think is very, very similar to Arvydas Sabonis. They both have half drop stepper, half post spin, half catch and shoot, half claymore. He's got half anchor, box out beast, and brick wall, though those three badges are really, really good, and I think help him out a lot on the interior and as a rebounder. Just like Arvydas is a snail, is a very poor perimeter defender, but I can live with that because he is a knockdown three-point shooter with quite a solid release as well, which is really, really good, and I think he shoots the three better than Arvydas, and honestly, these interior badges like anchor and box out beast, I think help him out a lot. Defensively on the interior as well, another 7'3" player. You can add some badges to him. I would definitely add limitless range, and then some defensive badges like an interceptor, a pogo stick, maybe clamps, glove, or chase down, or just something like that. I wouldn't waste time with the quick first step. Bailout might be a good badge to add, but I think he's right there on the level of Arvydas Sabonis, and I think they're both S tier centers. So that completes my tier list of the best centers in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM right now. Let me know what you think of my list down in the comment section down below, who you'd maybe have higher, lower, or who you think I left off this list that you'd be interested to know my rating of. So if y'all did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.